Several Congress members on both sides of the aisle are speaking out about the impeachment inquiry regarding President Trump.
I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry.
And hear why students are frustrated that they couldn't find seats at the UGA versus Notre Dame game.
We just weren't getting heard out by these people. We were getting cursed out.
And forged prescription attempts have authorities searching for a male suspect in Oconee County.
They have used my prescription and used a false signature.
This is Northeast Georgia's only local source for TV news. From the Grady College at the University of Georgia, this is Grady Newsource.
Good evening and welcome to Grady Newsource. I'm Ashlyn Webb.
I'm Wellesley Kiesel with weather.
And I'm Julia Sanders with sports.
Georgia Congress members are speaking out about the impeachment inquiry of President Donald Trump. Yesterday, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi formally announced the launch of the proceedings. This comes after a whistleblower came forward about a phone call between Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. This morning, the White House released a transcript of the call between the two world leaders, showing Trump offered the help of U.S. Attorney General to investigate Democratic presidential candidate frontrunner Joe Biden. Prior to the call, the Trump administration had allegedly blocked U.S. aid for Ukraine, vital for fighting the pro-Russian rebel insurgency in Ukraine. 4 Georgia congressmen have endorsed opening an impeachment inquiry, including Representative John Lewis, who spoke in front of the House on Tuesday.
I truly believe the time to begin impeachment proceedings against this president has come.
On the other side of the aisle, Georgia's District 10 Congressman Jody Hice, who represents the Athens area, is against the inquiry. Hice, a Republican, has been a strong supporter of the president and is continuing to back him after Pelosi's impeachment inquiry. In a statement, Hice said, quote, "The abrupt and absurd decision by Speaker Pelosi to formally begin impeachment proceedings without waiting for a single piece of evidence is a dramatic overstep to distract from the real issues that matter to the American people," end quote. So far, 160 Democratic members out of 235 in the House have backed the impeachment. We will continue to follow this story as it develops. And the Oconee County Sheriff's Office is searching for a male suspect who may be linked to multiple attempts at forging prescriptions at local pharmacies. Grady Newsource reporter Skylar Nicholson has more on the developing story.
I'm here at the Oconee County Walmart where inside a pharmacist was presented with an alleged forged prescription. The individual has not yet been identified. This is the location in which the first forged prescription was reported by a pharmacist written by Dr. Dawes a little over a week ago. Since then, there have been multiple other incidents with the same type of prescription that have been forged at locations such as CVS on Oglethorpe Avenue, Kroger on Highway 29, and Bywise off of Chase Street. At most locations, the prescription was not filled, with the exception of Bywise. When the individual came back for a refill, he was denied. The doctor who reportedly wrote the prescription happened to be friends with the pharmacist at the Walmart, Gene Vossman, who caught the discrepancy on the forged prescription. Dr. Deepak Das is an internal medicine and sleep doctor with over 29 years of experience and is a practicing doctor at multiple hospitals, including Athens Regional Medical Center and St. Mary's Hospital. He is the doctor whose name is being used on the prescriptions, but in fact, this is not his signature. The prescriptions look all too real with the correct national provider numbers, medical license numbers, address of the practice, and correct doctor's name. All inconsistencies on the prescriptions included a fake patient name, address, date of birth, and a different signature. The doctor says that in the past he has had his signature forged for prescriptions, but not completely recreated scripts.
This is totally new. This is like not my prescription, nothing mine. Somebody has manufactured a new prescription with all my details, 100% of my details, and then on top of that they are sending to a different pharmacy.
Dr. Dawes says that people might be resorting to these measures because of the new Purdue Pharma restrictions, making it harder to access opioids.
So my appeal to the pharmacists are that if they see anything Schedule 2 or Schedule 3 drugs, they should at least call the office before filling it.
Investigator Cash of the Oconee County Sheriff's Office broke down the consequences for this type of crime.
And the way that works is if it's not a controlled substance, it's considered a dangerous drug. Dangerous drugs are misdemeanors. If it's a controlled substance, then it is a felony. Along with that charge, if they're actually dropping off the script or picking it up, we can charge them with obtaining or attempting to obtain a dangerous drug, which is a misdemeanor.
3 incidents of this nature have occurred in the past 2 years in Oconee County. The type of medication the suspect is trying to receive is phenergan with codeine. It is a restricted drug. It is a combination of a narcotic that acts as a pain reliever and a cough suppressant. Law enforcement has not identified a suspect as of yet, but they have posted pictures of an individual of interest they are looking for. The individual appears to be a tall-built man. If you have any information on this case, please contact local authorities. This is Skylar Nicholson with Grady Newsource.
Authorities urge the public that anyone with information on these incidents call the Oconee County Sheriff's Office at 706-769-3945. One man will be extradited back to Georgia to face charges for 2 counts of armed robbery in Athens-Clarke County. Londell Nunn Jr. is currently in custody in Alabama for an armed robbery there. Nunn was found responsible for incidents at a Dollar General and GameStop earlier this month. Warrants have been issued by the Athens-Clarke County Police Department. They recommend that any robberies committed by a suspect resembling Nunn contact Police Detective Sean McCauley at 762-400-7061. And in honor of National Emergency Preparedness Month, today the University of Georgia took a step towards ensuring that students are well prepared for emergency situations. Grady Newsource reporter Isaiah Joseph has more on the story.
It can all happen in the blink of an eye. 1 minute things are normal, and now you find yourself having to tend to a scary situation. The University of Georgia's Office of Emergency Preparedness hosted a fair today to help students better react to these scenarios, as well as prevent them from happening. Dr. Trina Vaughn-Waldner, a faculty member from the College of Pharmacy, explained to students how to pack an emergency preparedness kit.
We're giving them ideas of what they should have as far as emergency supplies to make sure that they're ready to respond to any type of emergency.
The fair consisted of many health and natural disaster preparedness organizations, as well as emergency response units, all intent on informing students. There were even students like Sloan Singson who volunteered to better prepare their peers.
And anything that you can do to help, anyone you can. So being trained on stop the bleed and CPR, you're able to help your community in any situation that may arise.
So I'm here with Alex, Secretary of the Medical Reserve Corps, and today she's going to show us how to apply a tourniquet.
Hi! The key part of applying a tourniquet is to put it above the site so you can stop the rush of the blood flow. And you're going to take this Velcro part and put it on as tight as you can. It's going to hurt when you put it on. This is just a dummy. But it's going to hurt the person a lot when you're putting it on them. So they're going to scream and be really uncomfortable, but you're doing it to save their life and save them from bleeding out. So after you put that Velcro on as tight as you can, you're going to take this bar and you're going to twist it and turn it, doesn't matter what way, and you're going to lock it into this last part here.
If you missed the fair, UGA's Office of Emergency Preparedness has all of this information on their website as well. Isaiah Joseph, Grady.
To ensure your own safety, the UGA Office of Emergency Preparedness encourages downloading LifeSafe from your mobile app store. This app allows you to text UGA police, share your location, and guide you through emergency situations. Barrow County Sheriff's Office needs your help to find a man who is wanted for questioning in a theft that occurred in an Ulta beauty store in Bethlehem. Police hope this man has information about the September 15th incident where expensive bottles of perfume were taken. He later left the store in a black Lincoln Navigator. If you have any information on the identity of this individual, Barrow County Sheriff's Office asks that you contact investigator Ian Geeman at 678-997-9927. Coming up next, Athens-Clarke County Police warn the public about homemade vaping cartridges and the latest on the St. Simon's cargo vessel that overturned.
Okay, so we drowned the fire,
Yep.
stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made this vacation happen.
Double points with every purchase?
Cleverly merging promotions.
Love it.
Cross-referencing travel sites. And booking all your flights with those...
Vouchers. I got us bumped.
They were like, oh. But now they're like... Aloha. You aced this vacation. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
UGA is once again working to ensure that students are not spending so much on textbooks. The provost is supporting the Affordable Course Materials Grant, which allows faculty to provide low-cost resources to students. Grady reporter Jasmine Szilard has more on the story.
Faculty has found creative ways to deliver affordable information to students.
Many faculty, increasingly aware of this as a serious problem for students, are developing their own course materials, their own textbooks, other materials, and they make those available freely to other faculty. They're called open educational resources.
The Affordable Course Materials Grant Program allows faculty members to transition from costly materials like textbooks to educational resources that are free or cost less than $40. Professors will use the Open Education Resources, or OERs, to make that change.
OERs are an equity-minded strategy. Through OER adoption, we can ensure that all students have all materials on the first day of class, regardless of their financial aid or socioeconomic status.
UGA Library Database has access to a lot of information, and they encourage faculty to see if the resources are there before they make students purchase a text.
Which a faculty member can essentially provide us with a readings list for their course. And to the extent that we have that material either licensed or available in print at the library, we'll digitize it or provide proxy links to it, create an ELC module and upload that for the faculty member. They have that as an alternative to something that a student would have to pay for.
Students have often purchased the same material more than once, and UGA predicts the grant will save students $770,000 in textbooks cost each year.
We'll be able to offer support for faculty to be able to convert their courses from more expensive textbooks to more affordable course materials, and at the same time to make improvements in regard to instructional outcomes and achievement outcomes for students.
In addition to financial impacts, the grant creates academic impacts as well.
You can see from research that those who are able to get access to low-cost material, they tend to have better success with their studies and GPA and so on. So
UGA was ranked the #2 institution in the nation for saving students textbooks money during the 2017-2018 academic year. Oil is now leaking from the hull of an overturned cargo vessel in the waters off St. Simon's Island, according to the United States Coast Guard. 2 weeks ago, we told you how the vessel named the Golden Ray overturned on its side. After the Coast Guard rescued crew members, they shifted their efforts to environmental protection. As of September 10th, there were no leaks from the vessel, according to the Georgia Coast Guard. Now the oil is being spotted in nearby shorelines, rivers, and marshes. Work to drain the main source of fuel on the vessel is expected to begin in the next few days. So far, there are no advisories about swimming on Georgia beaches or eating seafood caught in the area.
I'm Julia Sanders with sports. Today I'm going to tell you about UGA volleyball player Casey Evans winning an honor in the UGA equestrian team's upcoming season. Also coming up next, many students had trouble finding seats at the Notre Dame game, even though they had tickets. I'll tell you why.
Hi, I'm Peter. There's nothing I love more than sharing vegetables with my friends. Come on in! Help yourself to anything. That's why we give our food the utmost respect it deserves. Did you know there are simple steps we can all take to help save food? You can cook it, store it, even share it. Just don't waste it. Because when it comes to food, better ate than never. To learn more, visit savethefood.com.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I brought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Attention travelers, next Tuesday a major power outage will cause complete chaos throughout the city. Food, water, and phone service will be in short supply. There will likely be panic citywide. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Disasters don't plan ahead. You can. Talk to your loved ones about how you're going to be ready in an emergency. Don't wait. Communicate.
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
And now, sports.
I'm Julia Sanders with sports. Over the weekend, UGA football was all in the news for their win against Notre Dame, but it's not the only UGA sport that's doing well. Casey Evans, a UGA volleyball player, won Freshman of the Week by the Southeastern Conference. Evans is the outside hitter for the team. Even though this is her first year playing at UGA, she already has a season best of 16 kills in both the last week's home matches. Through her 36 sets played, Evans has an average hitting of .233. On Friday, the Georgia volleyball team will play South Carolina and Columbia and then go to Gainesville for another game against Florida on Sunday. The Georgia volleyball team is currently in a 5-match winning streak. They are hoping to keep their streak strong after this weekend. People came from all over to come to the Notre Dame versus Georgia game on Saturday. Tickets were in high demand. UGA gave Notre Dame 8,000 seats, which meant there would be 500 more people than could fit in Sanford Stadium. UGA Athletics also put extra bleachers underneath the scoreboard so 500 more people could fit. Even with the extra seats, students have trouble finding a place to sit. Sophie Good, a senior studio art major from Gainesville, said she and her friends had to leave when some adults told them they were sitting in their seats.
And we just weren't getting heard out by these people. We were getting cursed at. We were getting physically pushed. There was no intervention from staff or any police officers to make the situation calm or anything like that. So we just ended up leaving.
Josh Brooks, UGA Deputy Athletic Director, explained over the phone why he thought some students had trouble finding seats. He said he thinks many students were confused over sections 138 and 139.
Being students, and I think with this high of demand of the number of students entering this game, I think it caused some confusion with students going down there, and our staff probably could have managed that better on our end of holding that line and showing students where they could sit. I think some students got down into that area thinking they were open seats, and then they had to move, so it caused obviously some frustration. So that's something we could have managed better on our end.
However, the next game in Athens won't be as crowded. The next home game isn't until October 12th when Georgia plays South Carolina. Hold your horses, I'm not done talking about sports yet. Last Friday, the UGA equestrian team hosted the Red and Black scrimmage to kick off this year's season. The Red team beat the Black team 10-9. At the meet, many of the athletes won recognition. Jaden Olson, a sophomore student athlete, won a most outstanding performance for fences. Junior Sam Gallison also won a Most Outstanding Performance for flats. Emily Clark and Alyssa Luckhart, both seniors, were each given honors for their rides of the scrimmage. The UGA equestrian team's season starts this Friday, September 27th at 11 a.m. They will compete against Sweetbriar College in a jumping seat competition at the UGA Equestrian Complex. I'm Julia Sanders with sports.
I'm Wellesley Kiesel, and after the break, I'll be covering local weather, fall allergies, and what you can do to avoid being affected. Stay tuned.
We'd do anything for kids. Yet 1 in 6 children in the U.S. struggle with hunger. Help end childhood hunger near you. Learn how at feedingamerica.org.
Start a story. Adopt at theshelterpetproject.org.
Can we get strawberries? Okay.
And now, the weather.
Happy Wednesday. I'm Wellesley Kiesel with your Grady Newsource weather for the week. Your weather headlines for today, we're going to be covering local weather and your 5-day forecast. So Athens tonight, it's looking pretty clear. It'll be around 76 degrees at 9 p.m. and then a little bit cooler at midnight. Going into tomorrow, it'll be partly cloudy. At 9 a.m. it'll be around 73 degrees. Noon will be around 87 degrees, and then 3 p.m. we might see some thunderstorms rolling in around then, and then 92 degrees then as well. Your 5-day forecast for the week, it's looking like pretty clear skies for the most part. 95 degrees on Thursday, so a little bit warmer than the rest of the week, but your Saturday and Sunday, so your weekend is going to be beautiful. So Athens, get out there and enjoy the beautiful weekend. Coming up, I'll be going over fall allergies and what you can do to avoid being affected. For Grady Newsource Weather, I'm Wellesley Kiesel.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
It's officially fall allergy season, and if you are suffering from allergies this time of year, you are not alone. Approximately 10 to 20% of Americans suffer from ragweed pollen allergies every year. Ragweed is a plant that lives for only one season, which is fall. Here's the kicker. Each ragweed plant can produce up to 1 billion pollen grains. On this chart, you can see the huge pollen spike in Athens from August to October. This pollen count scale ranges from 0 to 12, which puts into perspective just how high the current pollen count is at 7.1. If you are suffering from allergies, here are some ways you can cut down on pollen exposure. First of all, you can track pollen count for your area, you can limit time outdoors, take over-the-counter antihistamines, and wash clothes and take showers often. While the pollen levels are decreasing, they're going to stay pretty consistent throughout the next month or so. I'm Wellesley Kiesel with Grady Weather. Back to you, Ashlyn.
Thanks, Wellesley, for filling us in on weather, and thank you to everyone for tuning in to Grady Newsource. The news doesn't stop here. If you want to check out more news, visit our website at gradynewsource.uga.edu or our social media platforms. I'm Ashlyn Webb.
And I'm Julia Sanders. Have a nice night.
Grady Newsource is a student production of the Grady College of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of Georgia, which is solely responsible for its contents. Views expressed do not represent those of the administration nor the Board of Regents at the University System of Georgia.
Hello.
Hi, I'm from Blue Hood Stone Barns. We brought a meal for you and I'm here to serve it to you.
Okay, great. Come in.
Zucchini carbonara, made from zucchini that was harvested earlier this morning.
Again?
Hey, Dan Barber.
You have room for a little bit more?
Come
on in.
Brochettes, the sausage. So when we made that zucchini carbonara, you know, they're the end pieces of the zucchini, and they're the cores that we cut away. Not to mention zucchini flour. Usually those get thrown out. We use them to create an entire second dish. Does that,
Again?
I'm here to bring you your third course. It's the vines from your zucchini.
We'll have a little zucchini stem pasta. A different experience of zucchini. When we start to think differently about our food, we can get a lot more out of it.
This is delicious.
What do you think we can make out of this? 40% of food in America is never eaten. Cook it, store it, share it. Visit SaveTheFood.com.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation.
America, let's do lunch.
Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
Laughing too hard at one of your colleagues' jokes at the office party? He's not even funny. Warning sign, those drinks are probably going to your head. Probably okay isn't okay when it comes to drinking and driving.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham-bam minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high-five.
during the tag, like for something that was live, that is not something that most SPMs would do. And is it, oh my God, it's not on. Okay, well, hello.
So Rachel, start again.
But yes, so I would say overall today was a fairly smooth day, so that was good. But yes, I would say the biggest thing was for the live show, there were just a lot of missed deadlines today. Nothing was really in at 4:30, and like we usually do have like a bit of a grace period, but the grace period definitely doesn't extend into past 5 o'clock. And so the fact that we had to bring in a package while we were like in the tag live, like that is not something that I wanted to do. That's not something that really most people would be willing to do.
And that one you're talking about, which one was that?
That one was forged prescription.
Okay.
That story, yeah. The fact that it was literally like Ashlyn reading the lead and we were bringing in the package like as she was talking, like that's not acceptable. And it was really just a lot of like last minute things being dropped today, which made it very chaotic on our director. Things being switched around last minute. Like obviously we understand like some things have to be changed like based on time and stuff, but like definitely trying to be more communicative ahead of time, especially with things like the lower thirds with the phone numbers. Like I understand like that was said to someone, but I'm the one here for the live show overseeing that. So if I don't know, then like chances are it's not going to go up. So that's why we only had like the one phone number as opposed to the 3 that were referenced. And then like saying go to GradyNewsource.com at the end. We didn't have a lower third for that because we didn't know that that was going to be said. And like I don't have time every day to read through every single script before we go live because there's only so much time. So if there's something important that like I need to be notified about or the SPM needs to be notified about, like that needs to be communicated to us because I'm not just going to like go line by line through every script and just like know that I need to put a lower third on something. But other than that, I would say it was a very smooth show. And Alex has been directing a lot this semester while being also in the Tuesday, Thursday class, and she's been killing it. So.
Thank you. Hi, you guys. It was a good show. There's 4 things that I took note just for our production side. First, like the meeting, printing out the things were a little bit late today. Usually we like it to be printed and like ready to go by 3:30, not afterwards, but it's okay. We're still kind of early in the semester. Also, there was a package that was exported not incorrectly, but there was a black spot, and that's because the cursor is like all the way down Premiere, and you have to be like the black spot in the show today was because of that. It was like once like all your footage is in, you have to like move the cursor to the end of your footage. That was the reason for that. And then the weather, I think you touched based on this, but the weather VOs, we didn't know that it was in the script, so it was kind of last minute. I'm trying to figure everything out, but just like communication, as Rachel said. And then also the audio, like it needs to peak at -12. Because like we kept having to tell the audio, our volunteer, to adjust the thing, but literally it's a right click on Premiere, adjust it, -12. I can show you guys, but it's super easy. You can like highlight the whole thing and make it to -12. -18, sorry.
But the most important
the
most important thing is for it to be consistent throughout your package.
Yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Great job, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. We will talk about all these things that you mentioned. So Taylor, do you want to go ahead and answer some of these things, the communication, the last minute things, from your perspective, what happened?
Yeah, so overall, compared to Monday, today went really well. We had everyone here, which was like the biggest step up. And everyone had good story ideas. Everyone was like working very diligently on them. The only thing that got us in the end was the last minuteness, and I know nobody was intentionally last minute with their stuff, but obviously that is what ultimately ended up making the difference in the few like little mess ups that we had throughout the live show. And like kind of like they said, just communication. Like, if you need me to help you, let me know. Like, I will come and like I came and asked all of you today a few point in times, like, you know, hey, is there anything I can do? But if you're just like headphones in and you're like, okay, and then you look back down and you I can't like know what to help you with unless you tell me. So don't be afraid to like say, yeah, I need you to do this, because then it ends up reflecting back on everyone if it messes up, you know. But yeah, overall, I thought today went a lot better than Monday. Our timing ended up being a little messed up still, but it was a lot more spot on than we were. Like, I think we started 6 minutes light on Monday. We ended up going over, but today we were like right at 30 minutes when we were going into the show. But yeah, all of you guys did a really good job. Thank you, Paige, for being my right hand today and helping me with everything. And yeah, I wanted to kind of know how you guys felt about digital and TV working together. Like, when you guys get the microphone, I want y'all to like kind of give your input on that. I think it worked well. Obviously, I don't think that every time we have a story, there has to be a digital and TV person on it, because that's not how every story lays out, and it would be like a waste of a person to do that with every story. But if there is a story that is complex, like, I think it makes a big difference in having 2 people working on it, and it provides more context for our viewers. So do you want to say anything, or do you want me to look? Okay, yeah, I'm gonna let you guys like comment on that, and if you guys have anything you want to say.
Yeah, so Jada and I worked together today, and I actually think it went really well, because we were doing the same kind of interviews, but getting different information. We were able to drive out. Unfortunately, it was a late interview, so it was really hard to get the package going, and then we had the issue with the footage looking like it wasn't even there. But I think it went well, and I think with stories that are complex, like ours was, it's good because her story was really focused on like what happened in Barrow County, and mine's more like nationwide, like how is this an issue, that kind of thing, which I think is kind of what they did as well. So I think it kind of provides more information to viewers when we do it that way. But
Jada, can you explain why your package was so late?
Yeah.
What happened? We had such high hopes for this, and then
Barrow County is really far. So on the way back from Barrow County, it was like a 40-minute drive, and we weren't expecting it. On the way there, it was like a 30-minute drive. So adding those extra 10 minutes onto our drive was definitely something that was difficult, and I was trying to speed but not get caught.
No, never
I
speed.
know,
No.
I'm joking.
Never. I would rather you don't have a package than speed.
Yeah.
Or I want you to be safe, and I will not run your package if you speed.
Okay.
Even if you come up with the best package.
No speeding.
You know,
No speeding.
the punishment will be severe. So
Yes,
it's not worth it. It is not worth it.
We weren't anticipating the traffic on the way back from Barrow County because it is such a long drive.
What time did you leave there?
We left here around 1:22 or 1:30 to get there
When did
around
you leave
2.
Barrow County?
Oh. I'm not sure.
So we had our interview at 2. We had our interview with the sheriff at 2:15, and then that went for about 30 minutes, which was good because we got a lot of good content. But then it was 2:45, and we still had to go to the school and get B-roll and her stand-up there.
So how could you have done? Obviously, even if you didn't anticipate 40 minutes, you should have anticipated because it took you 40 minutes to get there. So next time this happens, let's brainstorm a little bit. What could you have done to get, not to do a package, but to handle it in a different way? Let's brainstorm on that. So you should have expected that you would have been late because you knew it took you 40 minutes to get there. So you finished at close to 3 o'clock and you decided to drive back. What could you have done? Should you have driven back when it's 3 o'clock? Or Or
could've.
I'm trying to.
I could have
What could you
accessed
have
CAN, called you all, stopped somewhere, worked on the package there, and tried to send it over to the studio.
Or.
Done a shorter form story. I think that.
Or.
Oh, a live shot.
Ah, cheating.
That's smart. Yeah, for sure. I'm seeing.
But you could have called your producer and brainstormed, because you should have anticipated. If it took you 40 minutes to get there, you're at 3 o'clock, you know, and you
It took
leave.
us like 27 minutes, which 13 minutes, but I think that makes a
But
big
you told me
difference in
it took you 40
editing.
minutes to get there, and then you
No.
told me it.
Just under 30 to get there, and then it was
Okay.
like 40 on the way back because there was a bit of traffic.
Okay, so if you finished like close to 3 o'clock, even if you thought it would take you 25 minutes to get, you still would have been back here at 3:30. I need to have the script ready, written by 4 to be able to approve it, to make the changes, and for you to be able to
I
edit.
believe that I would have, because I've practiced writing scripts, I feel like I could have written a script within
Yeah.
30 minutes time. That's why I was so confident, like, okay, I'm pretty sure that I can get back and work hard and, you know, have the script reviewed and have all my pre-roll lined up in Premiere. I was confident in my ability
Yeah.
to do so. We weren't anticipating not seeing the footage on the SD card as soon as we popped it into the computer. It turns out I needed to put it into my laptop to see it, because even Peyton said, "Well, try your laptop. Don't go to the Big Mac," which I hadn't had a problem with before. So we were kind of panicking, like, "Where's the footage? Where's the footage?" And then I put it into the laptop, and then that's where it was found. So that panic kind of took up a lot more time than I thought that it would have.
Okay, okay.
So knowing now that I should just do it on my laptop before the MacBook, I've never had a problem with that before. I will do it on my laptop now.
Okay.
It was just like some unforeseen interruptions in time for me, especially. And then I drove my own vehicle. I guess I could have let Katie drive my car on the way back so that I could write the script.
Yeah. Because you were going on the same story, you should have carpooled.
She was writing her
probably.
article on the way back.
Okay, so. Okay, but you were using the. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah. So it was a little bad planning on. A lot of bad planning, probably, and in overestimating things. So just think about this in the future. Maybe just kind of, just say I'll do a live shot, like play a SOT, run some VO, and just be more creative and free with what you. It doesn't need to be a package. If it's looking like, it's better to do something right in a different way than kind of over anticipate that you'll be able to somehow make it. And so just, just lessons learned. And because we were not able to play your piece, at least we'll have something on digital, which I have yet to look at and approve. I didn't get a chance, so I don't know what you did, but I wish that, but that's why we're doing this, to learn. And so, okay, Paige, do you want to say, from your point of view, how the day went?
Okay, so I think overall it went pretty well, like the tag teaming and teaming up. I do want to say communication, y'all have done really well with that, communicating where y'all are, when y'all are coming back, when you can bring things for pre-tees, that type of stuff. I guess to kind of go off what Taylor said earlier, if y'all need us, please tell us. I try to go around and check on everyone throughout the day as many times as I can. I think at the end when we were in a crunch, I was helping Jada, and then I wasn't able to check on Skylar one last time when she had difficulties exporting her thing. So if something like that comes up again, like, I'm sorry, but just don't be afraid to just wave me down. I'm sorry that happened, Skylar. I was helping Jada in a crunch and like editing her videos while she was writing the script and that type of stuff. So just I think communication overall, like throughout the day, it was pretty well. I think the biggest thing we learned this week was it's not Jada's story, it's not Skylar's story, it's not Isaiah's story, but the fact that everyone's came together and helped different people in different places, I think that's really important. Like, it's not a single individual, it's a team effort, and that reflects on the whole team at the end of the day.
And Paige, why did we end up not communicating well with our volunteers? Where did that come from? Why didn't we print things on time? I thought we were on time. I saw things being printed at around 3:30. How did we end up?
We printed the first time they came and asked us to print, and that was 3:31.
Yeah, because I saw,
So
and that's why I was surprised
I'm not sure
that they didn't receive things on time, because I saw that. So I was wondering where that came from.
Yeah.
And I made sure that you communicated yes, we had last minute changes because of Jada's package. And I know that I asked you and you went and communicated that to them. So I'm just trying to figure out where we went wrong.
I'm not sure where that miscommunication came from, because I don't remember who it was. The guy, Nathan came and asked us for rundowns, and he said, has anyone asked for rundowns yet? And we said, no, you're the first person that's asked. And I looked up at the timestamp on the computer, and it was 3:31. And then immediately Paige started printing them.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing we didn't print at 3:30 was the scripts, because Jada's lead-in tag wasn't in yet, and it hadn't been approved. So we didn't want to waste printing them when we knew they were going to have to be reprinted, because they didn't have all the scripts.
And the 2 package scripts weren't printed at that time either.
And the 2
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But yeah, the rundowns we printed at 3:30.
Yeah, that's why I was trying to get to the bottom of,
Yeah.
because I was surprised that.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was.
Okay. So Wangeshi, would you like to share your thoughts for today? How did things go for you?
Things went really well for me, I think. My team did amazing again. Kate was here today, so that was already a plus. Your story was really good. You and Jada already came prepared with like our plan to team you guys up, so y'all were like ahead of the ball with that, and it shows, because like your graphic and then your web article is like really detailed and really nice. So thank you. Marissa coming through with the graphics and web article again, so really appreciate that. Like, it really helps us like get content and everything. Even when you came in here and your story changed because somebody else was kind of doing like another version of it, and then you were taken to a TV story that like you didn't have a lot of information on for a while, and then you still managed to get a web article already like edited by Professor Vasilova, which is just
Yes, very well
so
done,
impressive.
very well researched.
Yeah.
Very good collaboration with Skylar. I don't know how you guys pulled it off, but you worked very well together on a very interesting, enterprising story, which Skylar, I know it was late, but I'm not sure if it was it really your package was really exported while we were in the tag? How did?
It was being transferred over, and there was an issue with the computer like freezing, so it was stuck at 1 minute when it was way past 1 minute.
Mhm.
So there was no time to gauge on how long it was going to take, and so right at the last moment, I should have had it in by 4:30.
So what was the time when you had the package ready and edited and started trying to export it?
My package was right at the top of the show, so it was like going in right. I know it had to be adjusted to like 5:05, 5:04. It was within the A block, but my package was the first thing out of the door.
Yes.
And so that it was. I appreciate you guys shifting things a little bit to help with the issue, because I had it all done. It was saved, and it was just the computer would not kick it out, and so.
How long was it stuck?
It was literally about like 3.5 minutes, and it's 3 to 4 minutes we were having this issue, and then I had to upload it, and so. But it shouldn't have been edited that close, and we were trying to trim down, and there was a lot of content. So I appreciate you working with me, Professor V, to make sure we got.
Yeah, when I saw it, that's why I wanted it in CAN, because you can tell in CAN that it's really long. And I saw it in your Google Doc. It's still, I knew it wasn't 2.5 minutes. But you really worked very hard, and I think you got so close to the story that everything was very dear to you, and there was just too much good stuff in it, and we had to clean it up in the last moment. But I'm glad it made it, but again, we need to be better with the timing and kind of looking at what we can get done. It might not be the perfect thing, but don't let perfection, kill a good, story and make it so last minute and so hard on the crew to kind of handle this last minute thing. So that was the only thing, but I appreciate how hard you worked on a very complex story, and you worked very hard. You and I were texting at 10 p.m. last night with a lot of issues and all the interviews you had lined up, so I really, really appreciate the hard work. But don't let it, almost make our top story not make it on air. So we have to have a better balance between all the hard work and making it, on time. So that's what we need to be better at, scheduling things. And
I'd like to say Marissa was wonderful, and I think doing the tag team duo is definitely a really good fit for this program.
Yes.
Marissa was able to add different questions even within the interview from a different angle that brought things out that was helpful for my package. And she just brought a different perspective that was really, really helpful. So thank you for being great.
well, I'm so happy to hear that. But yes.
Yeah, this morning I know I pitched a lot and then I didn't end up doing anything I thought I was going to be doing, but I actually think it went really well because I know it definitely helped, not just with carrying equipment and stuff, but like you said, the interviews, because she was asking very specific questions and sometimes I needed information on more larger context stuff, but I think that really helped. And then I think that doing my web article, at first I was kind of worried I wouldn't get it done in time because we got back at 1 or 2-ish, but I feel like having going to the interviews with you and stuff gave it a lot more of a, not necessarily a personal sort of thing, but a very specific Northeast Georgia to tie into the whole larger context I was doing. So I think the tag team went really well.
Yeah, and we had quite an amazing story just right at the top of our show. Of course, we had a very important national story, which is the top of the news. We had to do the impeachment inquiry. That was the top national story, and we had a local angle, and I thank Ashlyn very much for giving us the bipartisan reaction to that, using Newsource with John Lewis, using reaction from the Republican side, and that was very nice, very strong. Even though we didn't have a package, we still had a very strong start with a local angle, and I thank you for working hard to gather all these elements. And all the other readers you did, even though you were anchoring, you contributed a lot by having all these bits and pieces. So I'm happy we innovated today. We always set ourselves a little goal, and today this tag team, I think, worked, and we should develop this further. And yes, darling, I'm so sorry we interrupted you. Go ahead.
And it's on Instagram and Facebook, and already has some likes on it on Instagram. Then she made another graphic for her web article that she also did. So Peyton was just going in today, and I thank you for that. Bailey also, I just got her video that has to be reviewed, but she made another demonstrative video. All her fans love the how-to video, so they're gonna love this one too. And that's about it.
Who did that? I'm sorry.
Bailey.
Okay.
Yes.
And okay.
And then so, yeah, we have to talk about that one. And
Because
then
I didn't get to see that one. I'm going to take a look.
Oh yeah, definitely. And yeah, that's about it. Hopefully Dr. Bright can forgive me for doing a boomerang on Instagram. I know she hates those. But I was really glad because today we were able to get content out more throughout the day. Also, big shout out to Isaiah because he was a TV MMJ, but he gave me a video that I can use for digital as well later. So thank you so much for your contribution on that too. And yeah, you guys really killed it today on digital, so I appreciate that.
Oh, good. Somebody's happy today.
I wanted to really fast say thank you to Wellesley because your live shot turned out really good.
Oh,
Really
yes,
good. It was very, very pretty. And also, Isaiah, your package, it was really good. And again, you came in with doing a story idea that you had no idea about, and you still came through with it, and did a really good job. And Skylar, Jasmine, Jada, even though your package didn't end up airing, they were all really good stories. And you guys still managed to finish them, even though your package didn't go to air, you finished it. We just had to cut it for time purposes. Yeah. So
yes, it would have made it, but we had to
Yeah.
cut it because we were out of time. And
Yeah.
we had already the ragweed report. Wellesley had worked very hard on that, and we had her with this beautiful live shot. So we had to make a choice, and it was a very difficult
Yeah.
choice.
I really didn't want to have to cut it, but yeah. And another thing is, they went over this, I think, but just making sure that you render your stuff before you export it, because then it can take longer to export, and you might have black spaces in your package. So that is like very important for, it just saves you time, honestly, in making sure that you have an easier process when you have to export your stuff, so that it's faster for you guys.
Well, I want to thank all of you for leading us so well in this very, very challenging week, where we started off Monday with 3 people who were unable to come, and you were producing for the first time in your life, and you had to face quite a challenge, which even would rattle even the most experienced producers, and you did very well, Taylor. I'm really proud of you, how fast you learned. You kept your cool. You came up, we all came up with the innovations, the long Q&A, which we were commended by, the other group as well. Of the other class was impressed with us, and I saw that they tried our innovation themselves. But that was quite impressive, and you all stepped in, and you all made it happen. And I'm really impressed. I'm very grateful. Paige, I really love the way you did your analytics, because you really gave us an idea of what works. Especially today, it became very clear to me, and I learned a lot from you. What works, demonstrations, multimedia content, and these are important things for us to keep in mind. And you really nailed it by really focusing on what matters, and really gave us a clear picture of how to do better melding digital with TV. So thank you. I wanted to commend, there are 3 people who really impressed me, made major strides, and those are Wellesley and Julia. Your performance was, I really saw a noticeable improvement in progress, and I'm just like, I was so proud. Isaiah, also, with your video and your stand-up, your writing, your package was very strong. The sound levels you had made major progress. I just want you to work more on coming better prepared with your ideas, just kind of nailing them down, just like you see the other people working. And even when they've lined up all their interviews the day before, like Skylar had, you see how challenging it is still to be on time. So just work a little bit harder on nailing down your stories, and come with a story that really has strong potential.